the first difference is that you have to understand that every child has his own inner battle, emotional battle. It's something immanent in him. You have two kinds of warriors in him that each one of them want to control him. And when you understand that, your most important, the most important thing in education is to teach him how to overcome his own unemotional and undesirable emotions. What are emotions? Before, we have to put a little bit of background to understand that. What are emotions? Emotions are the engine of the soul. You have emotions that push you forward. Without positive emotions, what's the role of positive emotions? Is to take the child and to call him, to take him out of bed early in the morning, and to push him to do things, and to be a part of his environment, and to learn. Without positive emotions, you don't want to learn. When a child do not learn, that means what? You have some kind of anxiety, something bothers him. It's emotional problem. It's not cognitive problem. It's not about his mind. It does not have any problem with his mind. So when we know what are the emotions, and we know that what are undesirable emotions or negative emotions, in Jewish psychology, there is no problem to say those emotions are negative.
Mhm.
In modern psychology, which is very young profession, let's call it like that, it's no, don't say they are negative.
Welcome to the show. Most of us raising children today raise them through the lens of modern psychology. We've been taught that children are born perfect, that every feeling must be embraced, and that our goal as a parent is to do no harm and avoid causing trauma. But what if this approach is actually making ourselves and our children more anxious? Today I'm joined by Dr. Yehiel Harari, a researcher and author of 12 different books, who is challenging the very foundation of how we view the human soul. After finishing his PhD in Tel Aviv University, Yehiel realized that despite having a very successful academic life, he lacked the tools to find true happiness and joy and to navigate the stresses of being an adult and a parent in this world. He found those tools in a surprising place: the Tanya and the ancient wisdom of Jewish mysticism. In this conversation, we're diving into the radical differences between modern psychology and Jewish psychology. We're going to discuss why Jewish wisdom doesn't just hug negative emotions like fear, anxiety, or sadness, but views them as undesirable forces that need to be governed by the intellect. We will explore the concept of the inner battle that everybody has. The idea that our kids aren't just born perfect, but they are born as warriors that need to overcome their natural tendencies. Yehiel's book, The Art of Elevation, became my Bible in parenting and changed my view completely about discipline, boundaries, and the purpose of a parent in a child's life. If you've ever felt like modern parenting gives you tools that aren't actually working and are focusing on the wrong things, this episode is exactly for you. Now let's dive into The Art of Elevation with Dr. Yehiel Harari. Welcome, Yehiel Harari. I'm so happy to have you here today and so excited for our conversation about your incredible book, The Art of Elevation, which we're going to dive into in this conversation. But first, I want you to start by introducing yourself. And I'm just curious to know how from studying a PhD in Tel Aviv University in communication studies, you came to writing, I think, like 12 books that are actually related to Judaism. So Tel Aviv University is probably the most secular, liberal place in Israel. Can you explain to us that connection?
Great. Efrat, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. Thank you very much. Okay, I'll get to the point. I finished my PhD when I was 29, I think, something like that. And I asked myself one question: why am I not happy? Why everything is going so well? I worked as the advisor of many ministerial offices, and I did so many things. And I finished PhD and I just got married, 2 children. after 2 years, 3 years, and why I'm not happy. And it's not only not happy; it's a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of you don't feel that you're in the right place. So I ask myself it's not philosophical; it's very practical question, but it's like philosophical. What should I do in order to be happy? What should happen? So I started reading and trying to understand what is happening beneath, in my soul, under all the covers, and understand why I can love so much my children and they drive me crazy. Am I elevating my child? Why is nervous? Why I am nervous? Why I'm in stress? Where does stress come from? Where is sadness? What is anxiety? Depression? It was nothing clinical. It was, a little bit, you don't feel you are 30 years old, you are very successful, everything is going very well, but still not feeling that you are really living your life in the fullest way that you can. So I started to penetrating into so many deep ideas in philosophy, psychology, and I got to the Tanya. The Tanya is the most important book in, I think, Jewish uh, mysticism. Let's call it like that. And I suddenly realized that somebody suddenly felt that somebody really understands what is going on inside, why I'm going through, what I'm going through, and how can I overcome it. And I started reading, learning, and I noticed that I have a tool to shadow my life, to see my life in a different way, to live life in a different way, to see my parenting in a different way, to see my relationship in a different way, and it gave me so many opportunities to understand life. Everything is about psychology. Business is about psychology, and parenting is about psychology. Understanding your child, even raising, it's not the right word. Even handling a dog, understanding that psychology of the dog. So the dog is not your child. There is a difference, major differences, because here you want to make him get used to things. The dog and your child, you want to make him choose by his own. That he will choose the right things and he will think about things and he will have a broad mind. So the more I got into this endless understanding of the soul and the way the soul is manifesting the body, I thought that I should, bring this stuff, bring these ideas to the audience, and so this is the results of the 12 books that are very successful. Most of them were translated. Two were translated to Chinese, which is, in China they do not even translate the Bible because they're communists. They do not allow to translate the Bible. So they translated two books, The Art of Elevation and Upside Down. The art of innovation, and finding your real destiny in life. It's a different book, and few of them were translated to English and to Spanish, etc.
So you mentioned that we need to understand the psychology, right, of our children, of ourselves, of our dogs even. But the psychology that you are talking about in the book is very different from the modern Western psychology that we know. So before I read your book, I probably read dozens of psychological books about raising children. And when I read your book, it gave me a completely different way of looking at our children. It's hard for me even to call it psychology because it's something that is much deeper than that. Can you explain to us the difference between the modern Western psychology and the psychology that you are referring to in your books?
Jewish psychology.
Jewish psychology, yes.
First, I must say first that the great contribution of the book, when I'm saying the book, it's the time that I invested in researching the ideas and getting them out and expel them out of ancient writings of Jewish wisdom. The most important thing is clarity. To know when you say uplifting, when you elevate your child, and to know when you do not elevate him, to say it, in a minor way. When you smash him and take out his ability to choose and to understand himself and to win his own inner battles. and to overcome his own inner undesirable emotions and to understand himself. So clarity, I think it's the gift that I got from this book, because now I know when I take out, when I scream, when I don't understand my child, when I do all kinds of things, I know when I elevate him or the opposite way. So I think this is the present that I got. And the major differences. The first difference is that you have to understand that every child has his own inner battle, emotional battle. It's something immanent in him. You have two kinds of warriors in him that each one of them want to control him. And when you understand that, your most important, the most important thing in education is to teach him how to overcome his own unemotional and undesirable emotions. What are emotions? Before, we have to put a little bit of background to understand that. What are emotions? Emotions are the engine of the soul. You have emotions that push you forward. Without positive emotions, what's the role of positive emotions? Is to take the child and to call him, to take him out of bed early in the morning, and to push him to do things, and to be a part of his environment, and to learn. Without positive emotions, you don't want to learn. When a child do not learn, that means what? You have some kind of anxiety, something bothers him. It's emotional problem. It's not cognitive problem. It's not about his mind. It does not have any problem with his mind. So when we know what are the emotions, and we know that what are undesirable emotions or negative emotions, in Jewish psychology, there is no problem to say those emotions are negative.
Mhm.
In modern psychology, which is very young profession, let's call it like that, it's no, don't say they are negative. Even though they're negative, I can extract out of them few good things afterwards. But before things happens, before the emotions controls me, I don't want to let them control me. So when you say something is negative, that means I don't want him in my life. It will happen, it will come, but I do not embrace him. I know now is my enemy. And thinking about anger or anxiety or depression, what are those emotions? Those are the emotions that instead of doing the role, which means to connect me to whatever I do, when the child have good emotion, good feelings, he wants to learn. He push himself to learn. He push himself to be connected. He wants to be a part of his environment. He doesn't want to scream on his parents. At his parents, he feels that when a child scream on you say on his parents, when, why? Because he feels that nobody let him speak. He cannot articulate himself. When you feel you cannot articulate yourself, then you scream. When you feel that everybody are now listening to you, so you don't have to scream. You don't have to lie if you really feel that your parents really, really appreciate you. So we said undesirable emotions are the emotions that do not do their role. Why do they not do their role? Because they take you backwards instead of forward. The major difference between a 20 years old, the 5, 6 years old that you are dealing with will be 20 years old in 15 years. When he's 20 years old, his emotion mechanism is the most important thing that he has. Because if you have good, positive emotion, you have an inner engine that will push him to do things, to change the world, to learn, to succeed, to be innovative, to do a lot of things. If you have negative emotions that controls him, like anxiety, then he will stay in his bed. What anger do to you? I want to stay in the room. I don't want to get outside. I don't want to do nothing. The same as depression. So one difference between modern psychology and Jewish psychology is that you face the undesirable emotions and now you want to change them. You don't want to hug them. They come from a place that is not you. We spoke about the inner battle that you have in you. I have sides. Wow, those sites always takes me to places, to thoughts that I never thought I will think about. They take me to very low places. When you understand that, when you understand this, that all those thoughts are not you. When you understand that when you're screaming and when you're howling and when you're fighting, it's not really the you. There is another you. There are two of you, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. When you understand there is two of the child, now you should decide who you want to hug, who you want to elevate, who you want to. I'll say the most important way of solving problems in parenting. There is no problem in elevating a child, is instead of seeing what is absence of, what is lack of, what is not, instead of seeing all the things that he is doing, seeing what he is or what he can be, and all the merits that he has, and all the things that all this potential. When you see a child like that, immediately feels that you want to what? You want to extract his powers. And imminent in us, there is the wish to fulfill our life, to fulfill our potential. Uh, I think the most problematic thing that everyone is dealing with is: am I fulfilling my life? Am I doing the right thing? Am I in my place? And the role of a parent is to help the child reveal, not getting the results, but to reveal his inner powers. What are his inner powers? Good emotions that will push him forward, and then he will be able to manifest or to use his mind correctly, and to think broadly and see his opportunities, and not afraid from the world, and not afraid from things that happening outside. So I think this is, in a broad perspective, what we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, what you talked about is so important because it's very different. It's a very different perspective of what emotions are and how we should deal with them in parenting. Because from the psychological point of view, as you say, like, we're not allowed to say that this is a bad emotion or a bad feeling, but we have to embrace all the feelings because on a deeper level, we come from a belief that the child is perfect as they are when they are born, and as a society, we basically corrupt them. So we are trying as parents to keep our children as they are when they are born, and not ruin them with our parenting. So we're like tiptoeing around our children because we are afraid to create any damage, trauma to our children.
It's a beautiful concept. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a,
it's a beautiful concept,
it's a
but
beautiful. I mean, it's a beautiful concept to destroy. It's not right. Like it's not because
yeah,
the child was born with, let's say, an imminent, undesirable or negative emotion, that this is a part of his identity, a part of his personality, that he will struggle all of his life. And if you understand that there is one child that is struggling depression, all of his life he will struggle depression. One child will all of his life will struggle, I will call it being cheap. Let's call it like that. Now you have to teach him how to overcome this tendency that is imminent in him, that is a part of his personality. And it's not about the environment, and it's not about trauma. There is overuse of the word trauma, overuse, because it's not about the parent. It's his own. You can help him overcome that, but you didn't brought this point to his life.
right. Like, if we change this fundamental perspective of our children, I think everything changed. I mean, this happened to me when I changed my perspective from seeing my child is perfect and
Mhm.
trying not to ruin him towards seeing them as whole from inside and with a lot of potential from the inside, but born with natural bad tendencies.
Mhm.
And my role as a parent is trying to reveal that goodness and that wholeness from inside. It changed your perspective. It changed the way that you approach your child and your whole mindset around parenting. So I think that was, for me, such an important breakthrough in the way that I started to see parenting, and in the way that I started to treat my children and help other parents understand their children as well. Like, this is such a fundamental point here, that I think, like, it's so ingrained, or
Mhm.
it's such like a big part, essential part of the way that we see children in our society, that if we're able to change that way of thinking, it changed the whole experience of parenting.
It's you articulated in a beautiful way. But instead of going to the children, think about yourself. What's the result of the first way you described modern psychology or modern understanding of the human being? That you have the permission to point on your parents and say they are the blame. They blame for what I am. They are in charge that I didn't break through. I did what I am suffering from whatever, and it's the wrong way to understand that. You have your inner battles. Your parents could or couldn't or did or didn't help you overcome them. The great present that parents can give their children, or therapists can help present to give their children, is to teach them how to teach the child to win his own battles, to change his mind, to understand his negative emotions that try to control him and to overcome his whole soul and the way the soul animates the body, and to change it and to know how to when it comes, and to understand himself and to understand what is happening inside of him. That's the great present that parents can do. But if you get back thinking about that I have my inner battles that are not connected to trauma, or to my narcissist mother, or to my father that was screaming on, it gives me the responsibility to overcome myself, and not to victimize myself, and not to think about what other people did to me. So it starts from understanding yourself, and asking the most important question: what is your role, mission in life? Why are you here? What's the purpose? Why are we here? What's the purpose? Without answering this question, it's not that I have a different purpose than my child. Education and parenting, it's all about revealing the purpose, revealing the purpose in the child. And the purpose, it's an endless, every day, every moment purpose that you will reveal your inner powers in the right way. And inner powers, it means the mind, the emotions, the will, being able to control different wills that I have that are now battling inside of me, and try to take me to all kinds of places, and to know what is the right will, and etc. And my thoughts, control my thoughts. And now discovering all, if I may take a little bit one step backward, there is the body. The body, it's a mundane physical body that there is no life in the body. If you separate the soul from the body, there is nothing in the body. The whole idea is that the soul will be able to manifest, to control the body in the right way. And you teach yourself to do that. How? How you teach yourself? In two ways. You control the vessel, and you control the light. The body is the vessel. What you do sport, sport, physical exercising, and eating well, and etc. That's the way that you take care of the body. Now you have to take care of the soul, that will give the right light to the vessel. The vessel is the body. What do? When you think about things, like when you think, what happened to me and why they did to me, and being victimizing yourself, now there is too much light that cannot be 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 in the be captured in the vessel, in the body. You feel that. You feel that it kills you. Let's talk. All these diseases comes from that. So I have to change the way I think about things. I have to change the way I believe in myself. I have to change the way I see life. I have to start believe in life, and start to thank things. And why is it so important to thank what you have, to appreciate your life, to appreciate your everyday life? Because when you appreciate that, you see the positive things, and now you're not being a victim. Now you're starting to control, to choose how to act and to do things. So I think it's a game that I learn every day, how to, let's say, animate, how to give the right amount of light from the soul to the body. And in this game, I'm trying to teach my child how he could overcome his undesirable emotions, that now what they do, they bring a huge light that you cannot suffer. Like when you are in anger, what happens when you are in anger? It's like you want to control. You cannot think. It's like, why she did it to me? Why it happened to me? You see a child when he's in anger. So you want to teach him how to himself to do a good match between the soul, between the light and the vessels, between the soul and the body.
So you talk about how the parent's role in a child's life is to reveal their potential, right? To reveal their wholeness and to elevate them from these negative emotions and the negative tendencies. And you say that we do this through our intellect, right? So we want our intellect to control the heart, or the soul to control the body. So
Beautiful.
how practically do we teach that to our children? Like, how does it work on a day-to-day level, on a day-to-day basis, basically?
I think we should start a bit before that.
Hmm.
When a parent do not do his job, his role, when a parent is not a good parent, when he's thinking about himself, when his interest controlling his role as a parent, his mission as a parent. What does it mean? I think about myself. When I think about, I say to my child, go to sleep now. I'm going to sleep. You can watch TV how much you want, 2 hours, and then I wake up and then I see, wow, 2 hours you are in electronics. See what it happens to you. It kills you. When I wanted to get to sleep, it's okay that he will be on TV or whatever. When now I'm waking up and I'm like, okay, decide. It's all about you. When a parent is start being is in the center. When I'm angry about my child, what does it mean? It's all about me. I wanted him to act in this way or not in that way. When I'm expecting my child, expectation, that means it's all about me. I expected. So it's you do not reveal his inner powers, and he feels that. You want things to happen like that, and the child, it's like your machine, your telephone. You are not a parent. You are now trying to control the child and to do whatever you like. And it's not like teaching him how to win his inner battles and how to reveal his inner powers and how to grow and how to elevate him. That's the major differences. And it happens when you think about yourself and not about the child. That's what usually happens. Even when we're talking about grown-ups, parents, why you didn't come to visit me? Why you didn't call? It's all about me. And when you call, I always talk about myself, what happened to me, and I'm sick and I'm not sick. And it's like, you're not a parent now. You are like a grown-up child and the child and the parent is the child. So, and it's very important when the child is young, because he feels when the parent is very egocentric, feel of full of himself, thinking about himself, and only want that the child will be a part of, let's say, the way others sees our family. We have to look like that. Wow, you didn't learn mathematics. It's not about real stuff. It's all external point of view that you are interested on. So this is what we have to take care to be very, very careful about, because you can love your child and minimize him. Minimize him in a sense that you kill him because you want him to be like, I love him, but you don't see his own inner traits and abilities and what he can do. And you see what you want him to be. He wants to be I don't know which child that want to be a lawyer, but he wants to be something like that, and you want him to be another thing, and you start to pressuring him instead of seeing what he can be, and then you destroy his own ability to grow up and to decide by himself. So this is what you should not be. And of course, in order, think about yourself. You will never be able to be a broader mind, to think, to learn, to feel, to do things. If around you, your boss will scream at you, will tell you you're not good enough, you tell you're always like that. When my wife tells me you're always like that, I'm close myself and okay, I'm always like that. I don't want to speak. I'll say she never says that, but I, if any, I'm saying that. But we have, before saying what to do, what not to do. I met a lot of parents, maybe I believe you met also, that are saying to me, please tell me what to say to my child that he won't wet at night, won't feel anxiety. And I'm saying to him, there is nothing that you can tell him. You kill yourself, your wife, you bring all the tension to your house, all the stress, thinking always about what will be, what is anxiety, thinking about what will be. And now we will overcome that. And you bring everything to home, to the not to your private space. Speak about it freely on Saturday night, everywhere, about what will happen and about money, and And then you ask yourself, and you fight with your wife, freely without any boundaries. And then you ask yourself why your child is with the anxiety. It's a little bit different with, it contradicts a little bit what we said before, because the child has his own battles, but you can add to him battles. You can add to him, you can take good, positive emotions and destroy them in a way. You as a parent, you as making the environment. So what not to do is being very careful. You want happy children, try to be happy by yourself. It's, the child will feel that if you are happy, happy means that you are not thinking about what will happen, and you are not bothering about the past, and you are trying to living in this moment, and you don't self always, ask yourself why you did like that. Self-accusation, falling into self-accusation, because self-accusation, it's all about, still about me, how I was, why I did that to the. Okay, so still you are in the middle. What your child need now? What you were a awful parent. What he needs now? He needs now a parent that will smile, that will help him, that will be there, that will overcome his own anxiety. So, in a way, what we didn't say, in a way, being a good parent is working on yourself. This is the best way to work on yourself. I did so many workshops, and I thought, fought with other people about how to overcome undesirable emotions. And then they say, okay, but it's very hard. But when you see your child struggling with, let's say, depression, you won't say it's very hard. You understand that everything that you are saying, the environment that you are doing, the way your house is handling, the way you are being able to smile, even your relationship with your spouse, or if you got, divorced, the way you got divorced, it's influencing the child, the way he struggle, the way he is overcome his own struggles. So this is what not to do. It's very clear, and it's very, usually it's very clear. What to do? I think there is no one tool that you are using. Trying to understand the child, what is bothering him, what he needs. Usually, undesirable, we have to now understand deeply where undesirable emotions comes from. They comes from one place, that you are in the middle. It's all about me. I feel, I want, what about me? The more the child feels that he has a life mission, he has a purpose in life, he has things to do, he's needed, he's influencing, and less about thinking about himself, because influencing, it's not about the influencer, it's about those that get those influencing. That in everything that you are doing, the more is getting these feelings, the more he's feeling, okay, life is not about me. So he's overcoming undesirable emotion. Think about therapy. Somebody, in this sense, the major role of parents is to show the child that they are loving him unconditionally. They see him unconditionally. Doesn't matter what he does, but then to take him out of the center, to let him know that he's not the center of the universe. You are the center because you have a life mission. It's your job. In every moment, it's specially for you. You cannot be bored because every moment is special, and there is something that is needed from you in this moment. And in the same moment, it's not about you. It's not about you. It's not you at the moment. You have something to do, but it's not about you. You are not the center. Think about a new baby comes to the family. So it's not about the new baby now is the new king. We are a family, and we have now a mission to accept a new baby, and we are all together. And you tell the child, no, don't. So he feels he's not a part of this mission of doing things. So if I'm trying to to wrap it out, or to wrap it, overcoming undesirable emotions comes from emotions are very important. They are like carbohydrates. Think about like that. You need carbs a little bit, but not too much, because too much carbs will kill you. Why? Because they'll make you insulin resistant. But if you have if you have too much emotions, they control you. What are emotions? I feel it's about me, and the more it's about me, the more undesirable, because emotions comes to me. Why? Because I'm starting to think about the past and the future. They text me, oh, what will happen? The future is connected to anxiety and burdenness and what will happen. And the past is connected to how I was, what I did, what I didn't, and etc. etc. So you need emotions because they are engine, but not so strong that will not control you, and to navigate them in the right way. Intellect, when a person is thinking, when a person is trying to understand something, is shutting down his emotions, because you cannot think when your emotions controls you. So you have to know how to little bit open this flow of emotions and to control them, and that's what you want to teach your child. And you do that by understanding that you are not in the center. We'll get in a moment to practical advices, but just understand the major advice or the tool that you can do. The more it's about him, the more you will feel, wow, I'm deserved. You see a child that is in the center of the salon and is sitting, and I'm deserved. I want. It's like you are a baby. Come on, you don't deserve nothing. It's come on, I'm deserved. It's like give me, give me, give me. You cannot handle that, and you see a child is in his nature. It's like that. He wants to get, to receive from his parents, and you want to teach him to give, to change his point of view, not to be in the center. And at the end, it will help him, because there is a saying of in the Torah, in the Bible, it's not sages, that you have to respect your parents. And "Kabet avicha v'et imecha," you have to respect your parents, and it's respect your parents. It's a commandment in the Bible, not only because of you, of them, because you have to respect them. It's for you, that you won't feel from now, oh, I could have had different parents, and why those parents did it to me. And you will start feeling free to control your life. So the more it's about you, the more you feel undesirable emotions, the less you overcome that. But you need a little bit you, because without you, there are no emotions. So you need to navigate it and to control it. That is the major thing that parents can give their children, to understand this mechanism of the emotions. The more you understand this mechanism, the more you control yourself, and you control what is depression. Depression. That the child is in depression. He thinks about and the more you are successful, the more chances that you will fall into depression, because your parents told you, you are so successful, you are so beautiful. It's very hard to be beautiful. It's very hard to be very, very wise, because you like understand everything. And now I feel, okay, I should be in this place, and I'm only that, and nobody really understands me. And how can I manifest? How can I get out, extract my abilities? And you feel you are not influencing, but you want to be an influencer. And it's very, it's very, there is a broad appeal that it happens a lot in the social media today, because, oh, I have only 30 likes in my show, in the Instagram, etc., and what I uploaded, so I feel depressed. Why? Because people really do not appreciate me. It's all about you. You don't really want to be an influencer. Influencer, it's not about a team. It's about the influencing. It's all about you. You want to be a receiver. You want people to really receive you, to accept you, to think about you. Why? Because you don't accept yourself unconditionally. Accept yourself unconditionally, and you don't need nothing. Now you'll be able to see what the receivers really need, and you will be able to be an influencer.
You said a lot of things. And I think that some of it can be very, very tricky, because on the one hand, you talk about how we as parents have to take ourselves out of the center, right? We don't have to be thinking about ourselves too much when we are parenting, but our focus needs to be about our children. We also don't want to put them in the center, right? So it's like, how can we navigate that battle of needs, maybe, between how much do I actually direct my child? Because as we said, it's not that I can let my child do whatever he wants, be whoever he wants, act in any way that he wants. So I think that some parents that are hearing this can say, okay, that I have to put myself outside of the center and let my child do whatever he wants, because
No,
so it's
borders
very
are very.
tricky. It's very tricky. That's why I feel like, we were talking about unconditional love, right? Because if I think about unconditional love in a maybe very basic level, then unconditional love means that I accept you no matter what, right? So you can cry and you can scream, you can act however you want. I'm still going to love you no matter what. But what is the real unconditional love that we're talking about here? How does that look like?
I want to add something to the equations. Unconditional love does not contradict borders. Borders are very important things. Let's a little bit understand the idea of borders. Everyone needs borders. Without borders, you cannot concentrate in something, doing something you need in order to develop yourself. We need borders. There are two kinds of borders. There are external borders and internal borders. External borders, it's only a tool. What does it mean, a tool? You say to your child, you cannot do that. And in external borders, you emphasize not what is not allowed to. It's better to emphasize what he is allowed to do. Like you say to him, okay, you are allowed to wear this shirt today. So you emphasize you are allowed to eat this cake and not that cake. So you emphasize the path, the trajectory that he can go through, what he can do. You can stay awake until 9 p.m. So that's the emphasis. But it's an external wall, external tool. There are those children that you'll put on them too much boundaries, they will die. And there are those that without borders, external borders, they will get lost. So you need borders. There is not one rule how to put in external borders. It all depends on the child. There are those who need more, those who need less. But this is not the cream of parenting. This is not the cream of education. The cream of education, the cream of parenting, it's internal borders. Think about yourself. What does it mean, internal borders? It means that the child himself, he chooses. He chooses to put borders. He chooses to learn instead of going out and play with friends. He chooses not to eat the last cake in the refrigerator and to leave it to his sister instead of eating everything and not leaving nothing to his brothers. He chooses to. This is inner borders. So he himself, he chooses not to scream and not to feel, and he chooses to. Think about yourself, inner borders. When you choose to do something, you choose to learn, it's a different way of understanding. When you say you have to do homework between 9 to, 4 to 9, so 4 to 5, so he's doing homework, but you enforce him to do that. But when he chooses to do homework, it's a different level, because his understanding is border. It does not feel that he now have to. And now, in the inner borders, there are two kinds. There's those inner borders that still have external emphasis or external influence, which means I do it because I want to do something else. Think about someone that goes to do, to learn something in university, and he wants to learn that in order to achieve salary or to have profession. He do not really wants to learn. He wants something else. But he understands that without learning, without going to university or whatever, he won't get the degree and he won't be able to get the profession. You really want the profession. Doesn't want really. So it's like there is an inner border, but I don't really want the thing himself. There is the cream of education that you teach the child to find an inner border. That means he finds pleasure in what he does. He really connect to that. He learns because he feels there is something very deep, mysterious, something that gives him, he enjoy learning. And that's the cream. The cream of life is finding joy. Joy does not mean that you sit like that and you do nothing. The joy means that you're really ready to lose other things, to not to choose, not to go out with friends, not to, and to do what you want to do because it's very joyful, not because I need and I must, because I really want to. So those borders that are inner borders that a child's, built to himself because he feel that he's really connected and he feels that it's really strong, something that takes him, push him to do something, and he wants that. He wants to be a football player, and he chooses to be a football player not because he wants people to give him respect and to have the money, because he really likes the football. He really got the feeling himself. That's what you want to teach your child. So now we know what are borders. Sometimes you need, sometimes you don't. There are different cases. But if you are being able to teach the child to find pleasure in life, in what he is doing, think about, I can give you example of Jewish life. Like Jewish life can be with a lot of commandments. No, you're not allowed. It's like I know people that makes it so hard if you don't find the joy in Jewish life. And it's like something that I really Shabbos. It's something that I'm really waiting for, and it's something that I feel that elevates me and gives me powers, and I really want that. And even the feasts that we have, I really am waiting to fasting for 24 hours for Yom Kippurim. If you don't find the joy in that, and you find the joy, it's another question how you find joy. So I want like those borders and commandments and what not to do. And it's all about not about yes. And if you want your child to, if you have ideas and values that you want to inherit your child, to give your child, the best way is not to give him borders external. Sometimes you need external borders, we said, but the whole idea is that you push him into uh, accepting inner borders or developing in himself inner borders that he will have joy from those values, from those things that he's learning, from those things that he's interacting with. You don't want him to learn because he must. You want him to learn, and this is, um, I have a friend that is a professor of chemistry at the Technion, and I hated chemistry because it was very boring. I had the teacher back then, I don't know, 35 years ago, and he came to me and he gave a lesson about chemistry to a group of people, and it was so amazing because he succeeded to deliver that in a way that I felt joy in learning that. So I started reading about chemistry. Like I wanted, and I had a bit of bitterness that I didn't learn that well enough when I was at university. So it's all your main goal is to teach a child you want borders. That's the answer to the question that you asked before. You want borders, and you need to put borders to the child. And it's not about forgetting about myself. It's not about what he wants. It's about discovering his inner powers, and discovering his inner powers. It's not what he wants. Is help him grow joy to the right things that I think that the values that I really appreciate in my life, and to help him think like that. It's like the child thinks, oh, this life is amazing. I want to be a part of this life. I want to be a part of this. I'm not. It's the interaction. Said it before. The interaction is not about fighting all the time and solving problems. And now you do that, and you help me. If you want, let's get to something practical, if we may. Cleaning the room. Cleaning the room. It's a reason for a lot of fights between parents and children. She doesn't want to clean a room, and she thinks that doesn't matter why. And you try to scream at her 500 times, and it doesn't work. So why do you scream 501? If it doesn't work, it won't work because screaming do nothing. What you need to do? She does not clean her room because she does not feel it's hers. She has responsibility for that. And when a child feels he has a responsibility, it's not the responsibility to clean my room. It's a responsibility. I have also the ability to do things in my room, to change it, to have a painting of my own, to whatever I want to do in my room. So when you have responsibility, it's yours, and you can, responsibility. It's not only a duty. It's I have the ability to think about initiative that will change the room. So when the child thinks that the house is not yours and I have to clean your room, your house, in that way, I don't know any child that will want to do that will do that because they understand that he has no problem, no other way. But it's without fun. But making it fun, make it in his own, make it joyful. It's a part of his life. It's his own because he can do things. And it's not and it starts when you ask your child, "Is this picture is right for you?" You let him choose. A child that is choosing the way his room is looking and is a part of that. It's not the way the parents wants the room to be looked as. It's a different. It's all different way level because the child now is a part of having, as we said, having responsibility to cleaning. And I think this is the point, the major point, to make your child feel joyful of this life, enjoy life, enjoy what you do. It's not a broad thing like a general thing, enjoy life. When I'm learning, you have to find you want your child to enjoy learning mathematics, so sit with them. Buy pizza, invite pizza, buy some, good stuff that he is enjoying. Make it not, you have to finish your grammar learning that. Make it's also about English. Make it fun. Make it something fun. It's not that you don't work hard. You work hard, but you feel a little bit the advancement and you feel what you gain out of it and you feel the success and there is a sweetness after working hard. Why you go to the gym? After the gym, you feel good with yourself. You're doing the right thing. If you do not feel good with yourself, you won't continue that. If you don't know how to do to yourself to enjoy it, you won't continue that. I think that's the most important thing that connected to borders. That we need to know how to do borders. Otherwise, the first minute that the child will be able to break the boundaries, because you put boundaries, now is grown enough, 16 years old, you put boundaries, now is 16, don't care, I'll go, I'll do whatever I like, I don't give a, because those was external boundaries without any very, very odd, without any logic behind them.
Yeah. It's so hard these days because life is too easy, for our children, especially now with AI, let's say. Now you have to study for a test, you have to write an essay, whatever it is, like you can do it in a minute using AI, or you can order anything that you want off Amazon. Everything is kind of affordable, it's not like out of the reach of children. Every child today, many have phones, have a computer, have access to the internet, so it's so easy. The life is so easy for our children, and I feel that in a way in we do have to set those external boundaries to them, because otherwise it's like, why should I get out of my room? I have everything that I need inside my room in front of my computer. I can talk with my friends, right? Like build relationships in front of the computer. I can find joy in playing video games or watching a show. I can even, I can order myself whatever I want to eat. It's so simple, it's so easy. So there is, in a way, it's weird to say, but we need to make our kids' life a little bit harder. So they will learn that real joy, real satisfaction, and real fulfillment comes when you work a little hard to get something. So those external boundaries that we put on them is because we want to help them find that place within them where it is like, I'm delaying my gratification a little bit right now, because the real gratification is gonna come after I work hard for this, and then they will find their joy. So it's an outside in work, in a way, that we need to impose on them a little bit, at least in the beginning, until they get into like the joy and the internal feeling of it.
I think it's a beautiful point, because it brings us back to the question, what is the purpose? Without purpose in life, doesn't matter if it's hard or easy. It's like you want that the hardness of getting thing will be will replace the purpose. If you have purpose, the whole idea is to direct yourself towards this purpose. So, and I want and you say, okay, if there is no purpose, I'll do it harder. Then it will be like purpose. So that's why it's a very good question. What is the purpose of life? That's why you cannot be a real parent or give a real education without understanding the purpose of life. And there is a contradiction between different point of view. What is the purpose of life? But the broader purpose of life is to be an influencer, receiver in order to influence. Influence, that means you are in you are like godliness. God is influencing, giving you light and love. And you asked before if I can add godliness to the point and the aspect of God. God loves you as his own child. That's why you love. Doesn't matter what you do. That's the most important thing in Hasidism. That's why you love yourself and you love your child. So let's get back to the secular understanding of that. influencing, that means that nothing is without a reason. Nothing happens like that's it. And if things are going easier and have more tools today you have tools that never before you have to influence. That means that the child should learn more how to influence and not less. And we said a correct influence in the sense that you don't look for people that will argue and will say you are great. This is not influencing. This is receiving. Don't forget that. The wrong way of handling social media, social networks. It's all about understanding the way you should put yourself in them. Because if it's a lot about you, you can kill yourself with depression because what people think about me, and the person that didn't give me a like, he doesn't like me, and everyone controls you and controls your soul. So it's all about influencing. And today, more than any time in the past, any time in the past, the child has more ways to be an influencer. And when you say I'm bored, that means it didn't cut the idea that every moment it's in you, and every moment has its own ability. You have the ability in every moment to do something, to understand something, to learn something in order to receive now, in order to be an influencer in the future. So there is a purpose, and it's an everyday purpose, and the influencing change from a family to family, from person to person. One family needs to bring light and goodness and help others, and others need to teach others. And when a child thinks like that, so now he knows something, looks, how can I teach somebody to learn more? The more he teaches, the more he knows himself, the more he opens his mind. Take a child and take him to a hospital and give him, your child is bored, let's say like that, and I don't find myself in this holidays, I don't, and give him, I don't know, $50 and say to him, you have two options. One is to go to a movie with friends and see the movie and buy to yourself, I don't know what, popcorn or whatever. And the other option is to go to a hospital to buy some candies, healthy candies, and give those candies to, I don't know, to children that are having cancer or something like that. So where he will feel better with himself, where we'll get back after this event finished and feel, oh, I did something that filled me, and I will remember that when he went to the movie. He will forget about the movie. It won't be so strong event in his life, so strong thing that will touch him emotionally. In the second option, that he went to the hospital, he will feel that he got out of himself, and now if he helped someone else, he was influencing. He influenced. He did something. And when he sees a child that got his candy and smiled, he will feel so good with himself. Okay, that's what we want to bring to our children. So it's not about doing it hard or doing it easy. It's about developing in him this idea of, I think, this idea of, when it's easy, I have more options. I need to get. You're right in the sense that without working hard, you won't be able to get no results in anything in your life. In any aspect of your life, if you want to get results, you have to work hard. That's the thing that you have to, you cannot get results without working hard. But we want not to emphasize the hardness of the work. If you tell me you have to work hard in order to get results, I don't want that. You want to emphasize the goodness, the good feeling, the joy. A joy, it's a Kabbalistic term. Feeling joy about what I'm doing, because I really want to do that. It comes, if I may add, it comes from the same place. God has joy of creating the world because he has joy. So he thinks, okay, it's so joyful. If those people down here will really, down here, it's not down here. Those people will really let me get in their life. So I have joy with that. So because of his joy, he's creating the world any moment. So I think this is the emphasis. It's like, think about, whenever you think about education, think about yourself. Don't think, oh wow, it was to me. Think about what's the purpose. Why it is why it is easy. Why you want mathematics to go very easy for him. Why? When he'll have a broader understanding, even a philosophical understanding of numbers, it will be easier for him to understand homework, to do homework. the more you open his mind and the more he controls his emotions, the more he's understanding that he's doing that not for himself, because he wants to influence, to be someone that will influence and revealing his inner powers. The more he thinks like that, the more inner power he will have, the more joy he will have in what he's doing.
I understand completely what you're saying. The only thing that is a little bit confusing still, I think, for parents, and I'm interested myself, because I feel that the way I'm questioning maybe the way that I'm doing it in my family now, because for me, in our family, we give a lot of responsibilities to our children. It's a
Beautiful.
very young age. They are in charge of many things, for themselves, for their staff, for the rooms, for helping out around the house, in all the levels. But in the beginning, when we only started to instill these responsibilities in them, it wasn't easy, right? But after they did it a few times, now it's like they do it. I don't know if they always do it joyfully, but absolutely, after every time that we have a very long driveway, so we need to take the garbage bins in and out. It's like a 5-minute walk up and down the hill. So it's a little bit of a hard work. So in the beginning, especially my middle child, he would scream and he would cry, like, I don't want to do this. It's so hard. Like they're taking it when it's snowing outside. Like, it's not an easy job. But right now, when I ask them to do it, they go and they do it, and they come back feeling joy. Because they were outside, because they worked their body a little bit. They breathed. They had like some fresh air. They contributed. So in a way, I needed in the beginning to push a little bit, to direct them a little bit towards the thing, because you said, we can give them the $50, decide what to do with it. But how much as a parent do I push or direct them how to use it? Because naturally, I think they will choose the easy way. They will choose to go and watch movies with their children. They will choose to go and watch a movie with their friends and eat popcorn because it's more fun and easy. Not to go and. So how much do I direct them in the beginning as a parent? Because I think like once they have that experience of fulfillment, joy, and gratification, that already they got the sense of it, because they don't know that it's there. Right? We have to show them, you have this inside of you. And once you reveal this inside of you, you will want more. You will want to reveal this more. Like how else can I contribute? Where else can I work harder and feel that sense of gratification? So in the beginning, and the beginning it's not about age. It's if up until now you haven't challenged your children and they're 14, 15 years old and you haven't challenged them at all to go to those directions. So at the beginning, you have to push them a little bit towards those directions. That's what I'm saying. Like the external boundaries are what will create those internal boundaries that they will actually eventually want to do it from within themselves.
I agree with you, but I'm saying, think about yourself. It's not enough that you will do all the housework that you need to do and everything that you need to do, and you'll be okay. You don't want to live life which are okay. You want to live life to the fullest. It's a different way of understanding. It's like taking you to a higher level. It's not. You don't educate your child to be okay. It's okay if you want to educate your child to be okay, to be a computer. It's okay. It's like, but this is not the conversation. At the end, he will feel emptiness and he's not in his place. When you do things that I don't like, I never, 27 years, I'm doing the dishes alone. My wife never did the dishes. I don't know why. I know why. She does not agree to do the dishes. I'm doing the dishes, and I never doing with satisfaction. There is no satisfaction doing dishes. I don't know if you like to do dishes, but there is a little bit, to do all the dishes to make it, to make it happen in the dishwasher, to do it in the right place. It's very minimum way of getting gratification, you said. But then I'm doing it gladly because it's a part of me being a husband, a part of me being a father, a part of me having a house that it's, that it's nice to live in and it's not full of garbage and whatever. It's a part of my life, and I'm doing it with happiness. Sometimes that you have hard work to do, and it's not the cream, but you have to do that because it's a part of the bigger picture. And when really, I think if you do not have pleasure in your satisfaction in your relationship with your spouse, and you don't have love, so you will never do nothing with love. So what I'm trying to say, the more important we emphasize it from the beginning, less emphasizing, less working on the problems, what is not, and more working on developing love to life, love to what he's doing, love to love of what he learns, and appreciate what he learns. And the more he has that, and the more value it comes from value, have value in life, you will want to do more things if you think that you have value in what you are doing. And you will face hardship and whatever, because you will feel I'm giving value over here. I know that, even though the audiences, the broader audience, does not really know that yet, but I know that I'm bringing value. So it's like an inner motivation that you have. Our question is, where do you extract your motivation from? Where do you get it from? It's like the satisfaction that I overcome something and I did it, or an inner motivation, as we said before, which is a joy motivation. It's a part of being value to the world, that you have value, that you appreciate yourself, that you are not here for nothing, and there's not even 1 minute that is being created for nothing. Every minute there is something that needed from you in this moment. And when the child feels like that and thinks that, it starts from when he's 3 years old. I see his pictures and I don't say, okay, this is a 3 years old picture. Oh, this is wonderful. I'm building in him the feeling that everything that he does is important. Everything that he does, it's like, it's crucial. It's wow. It's like, I do not, disseminate him, saying to him, this is not, I don't care about that. It's not important. Your opinion, self to yourself, your opinion. That's, I think, the most important thing in educating. And at the end, the child feels that he's needed, that he has value, and it change. Children are very clever. You don't have to teach them how to think. They know how to think. It's very easy to know how to think. It's very easy, cognitive understanding of life. It's very easy. It's not something that very hard to understand, that I don't need to. It's not a good thing to sit all day on the couch, and you understand that. And wanted to say something about you presume that people or children will always go to the easy thing. I'm not sure about that. Children look for truth. They look for truth and look for influencing. But if they feel that there is no truth here, nobody wants to let me really, and I cannot influence here, they won't do that. Think about a parent that works with a child. The father said to the child, no, don't do that. No, this idea is not good. No, this idea. And it cancel everything that the child brings to the table. And then the child said, okay, I don't care about nothing. Okay, do it. I'll do.
Yeah.
So
I completely agree. I want to maybe make my point more clear, because I think, like, when children are born, they are full of life, right? Like, if you're taking the terms of light and vessel, they are full of light, right? And the vessel is still too small to contain all the life force that they have. I don't know if I'm, if this is the right way to explain it with these terms, but the way that I understand it, so we can work with that life force, right? If we start to, like, break that light or dim that light, or maybe completely, eradicate that light in them, then it will come to a place where they don't want to do anything, and everything is, they just want to sit on the sofa, watch TV, play video games. So yes, in the beginning, they have all that life force. The thing is that I think that reality today, if we don't keep that light, that life force within those external boundaries, let's say, I'm making sure that every day I'm making sure you eat healthy. I'm making sure that every day you go outside and you play outside. I'm making sure that you breathe fresh air. I'm making sure that you go to sleep in a good time and waking up in a good time. I'm making sure that I'm limiting your screen time, because I know that that pull, the pull that the screen has on you, will take you to the place
Course.
that is not good for
Course.
you. So we are trying to take all that life force, contain it within those boundaries. Maybe that's the vessel in a way, like we're putting at that vessel. We're directing it to a good place and not to a bad place. Because if we don't put that boundaries, as you said, that we do need those external boundaries. Some kids more than others, but I feel like the external boundaries, what they do, think about yourself. Like, if I want to start working out, first 2 weeks are going to be very hard for me, because I'm not used to, my muscles are going to hurt. It's not a routine yet. It's not a habit of mine. I have to make myself a little bit in the beginning, get into the process of waking up early,
I have to add to
working
that.
out.
It is never easy. I'm running for 30, 20 years, something like that, 30 years, I don't know, from the army, and running about 30 kilometers a week. And it's never easy to get you out of the couch and to
It's
go
not
out.
easy, but you already have that.
You are a better
No,
warrior. You are a better warrior.
exactly, and you know how it will feel like after. You already know the benefits that it has on your life, so that's why you do it. Although it's like you never want to go out for a run, but you always do it because you know that it's the right thing to do, right? So that's what I think. I mean, I agree with you completely that we have to always emphasize why this is joyful and why we are doing this. What is the purpose? You are contributing, and be very grateful for to that they are contributing to our family, because that gives them, it gives them so much power to know that they have influence here in our family. Like,
Unbelievable.
my 4-year-old, he takes out he takes out the dishes from the
Mm.
dishwasher when
He's
they're
in
clean.
charge.
He doesn't like to do it. I always, like, I try to do it playful. I'm gonna do the forks, you're gonna do the knife. So, but then when we get into like, we're getting into it, he's like, no, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna,
Wow.
I give him that energy. Like, we have to ignite that in them a little
Mhm.
bit when we're trying to
Exactly.
instill that in them, because when they get to, maybe age 6, 7, 8, where they don't have that life force energy that the babies and toddlers have, and they start to go into school, and they have all those influences from the outside, and they are so much connected to the screens, um, and they have that pull, that very, very strong pull that our modern society presents to them.
Well,
It's hard for us as parents as
to
adults,
stand against it
to
or
deal,
to
exactly, to stand against all those temptations. So in a way, like, the way that we try to discipline ourselves, to do the right thing, to do the right thing, to be a healthy person, to be a satisfied person, to have joy in our life. Um, and sometimes it's externally. We have to do it
Mhm. Mhm.
externally.
Help yourself. Help yourself getting that.
Yeah.
Feel the joy in the start at the beginning. There is something, there is deep inner power in the soul that calls. Um, it's called winning. It's like that you got some kind of a resolution, and now we are going with that. You don't think about it. No
Hmm.
more involving the mind in the sense of starting. I should do that. I should not do that. What I gain out of that? Not thinking that. Not thinking at all. I decided about something, and I'm doing that. It's an inner power that you have in you when you decide something, and it should be a very strong decision that you are connected to, and you decide that you are doing it, and nothing will get in your way. That's like when you wake up at 5 o'clock and you want to go to a run. The decision that you got last night, okay, it's very important for me to run, and I want to do that, and I don't want diabetes. That's what I will run, etc., etc., etc. It won't work at 5 o'clock when it's very warm in bed and you want to stay in bed. It's only this very strong decision that you got with yourself that I'm getting out. It's like it's very something that goes against your nature, against the comfort that you are in. And this is the trait that you want to develop in the child, that he has it
Mhm.
in him, that he
Yeah.
can go against his nature. And it's one of the most important things. I think everything about being a parent, everything about being a child, everything about being a human being is going against your nature. What it does mean? Everything in relationship is against your nature. To learn to love a spouse for 30 years and to be with him and to love him and to see the merits of him, it's like it's against the nature, because nature is I love everyone, I love her and whatever. And being a good father is again the nature, because what he gave me, there's nothing natural in being a parent. It's like okay, the beginning there is, because I love him. Now he's grown up. What I get out of him, what he gives me, and it's vice versa. When you are 60 and you're a parent, or when you're 70 and 80, it's the same game. How can I help my child discover his inner power? How can I help him? Sometimes I call my mother. If she gives me power, she believes in me. It's enough with two sentences that I get from her, and I start believing myself. And if she will not give me those two sentences, or this approach, or this, I will go to find it in a different place. So you're right, exactly right. I
Yeah.
think.
I think like if maybe to summarize it, two things, like two main ideas that I think maybe should guide us. So the one is the idea of the choice, right?
Hmm.
Like we need to show our children that they have choice.
Beautiful.
And they are powerful and they have influence over every thought they have, decision they make, whatever they say, like they have the power. They
They
are
have a
not
power.
victims. Exactly. They're not victims of circumstances.
Oh,
And
right.
also like give them responsibility, but when we give them responsibility, it has to be, it's their responsibility, it's not our responsibility. We need to show them that this is yours, these are your stuff, this is your room, this is your education, it's not about me, it's
Beautiful.
about you, like empowering them always to take control over their
It's
life.
your life.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And not and
I,
not
I, I I would add
Yeah.
another layer. Last layer, it's it's not like you have a phone and all you need it's a very easy way to handle your phone, and you don't need to know how the phone really works. The more the child will know how it works, the more you will know. The another layer is the more you will understand his thoughts. What are the thoughts? How they run? Why bad thoughts come? Why so many thoughts comes to him? How we handle that? The more we learn about emotions, the more we learn about the mind, about knowing, about wisdom, the more we learn about how to navigate his wheels, the more we will learn about the soul, the way the soul animates the body, the more we learn that it's not that you just solving problems. You teach him the way things happens. So the more he will know about himself, he won't be in a place of um, exhausted from immediately being in anger, or things happens to him. He will understand himself, and he will say,
Mhm.
"Okay, I thought like that. I thought why he didn't like me. That's why I have now anxiety, or that's why I'm in anger now." So we'll understand the connection between the way he thinks, the way his emotions controls him, and the way he motivates himself, and the way he regulates his thoughts. That's, I think, it's another layer really to do a technical work, to technical learning, and it's very easy, to see a movie. What's the way this guy thought, and why he feels bad because he thought like that, and doing all the connections at the end, the child knows that, and it's a huge body of knowledge that he can embrace to his life.
Yeah. So I'm gonna add, we said choice, we said responsibility, and communicating to them about how they're feeling, like how they're thinking actually,
Great.
understanding their inner world,
Hmm.
and not how we are focusing so much in modern parenting, in like the Western psychology way of parenting, on focusing of their feelings. How do you feel? Right?
Hmm.
We need to
That's it.
step out of how do we feel, and show them what did you think, how are you thinking, and show them like how can you think about it this way, can you think about it that way, if you think about it this way, how does that make you feel? So
Okay, change it.
more focus on their developing their thought, so they will be able to control their
Beautiful.
emotion and not the other way around.
Beautiful. Of course. It was a pleasure.
It was so, yeah, amazing. So thank you so much, Yehiel Harari. I'm looking forward for your book, The Art of Elevation, to come out in the English version because I want everybody, every parent to learn this. This has become really my Bible for
Yeah.
parenting ever since I read it 2 years ago, and I really appreciate everything that you're teaching. And in your, you have also a YouTube channel which is in Hebrew. But what other resources can people find if they want to learn more about your work? I know you have one other book that you do have in English. So can you speak about
Winning every
that?
moment. It's about, the whole idea of writing about children start with the parents. The books that came before that was winning every moment anew, and it's the way you should win your inner battles, and that's a different story. But we said at the beginning, parenting. It's a good way to work on yourself, and now to find in your life purpose, and to know what you want to do in your life, and why you are living for, and um, um, mainly work in Hebrew, but maybe I will change a little bit the trajectory then and add a little bit of English work to that.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I'm currently reading that book, Winning Every Moment, and it's amazing. So I'll also link that in the show notes so people can find it and learn more about this work.
Thank you very much. Great
Thank you so
pleasure.
much, Yehiel. Thank you.